Hey guys, you're watching BTech. I'm Basil, comparing what is arguably the best of Android with the best of Apple. It is a Huawei Porsche design Mate 9 versus an iPhone 7 Plus. Two 5.5-inch screen phones, but you can see from the offset, the Mate 9 Porsche edition makes much better use of that surface area. You've got a lot less screen to bezel, or more screen to bezel even. You can see the design has home buttons on both. It is a capacitive home button, which doubles up as a fingerprint scanner with two capacitive buttons either side on the Porsche design Mate 9, versus a home button with no capacitive buttons either side and also a fingerprint scanner. This is a new Taptic fingerprint scanner from Apple. You can also see front-facing cameras, 7 megapixels versus 8 megapixels, and round the back both have dual cameras. So there are a lot of similarities here, but there are also a lot of differences. The dual cameras on the Mate 9 Porsche edition are 12 and 20 megapixels versus two 12 megapixels. You also have no zoom on either of these cameras, and you have a 2x zoom on one, although that does not have image stabilization and has a lower aperture. So we're really going to have to wait until we get these in before we test out anything too thorough on them based on the sheer number of differences. But one thing that we can say for sure about the cameras is the fact that the Huawei user interface is incredibly great at giving you loads of options. You have way more shooting modes than you do in iOS, from full manual right through to 4K video, which is much more easily accessible. For iOS, you're really going to have to download third-party apps if you want to be getting any decent shooting experiences beyond your basics. Right, now let's take a look at the screens. It's an IPS panel at full HD resolution, giving you 400 pixels per inch versus a Quad HD panel with a slight curved display, giving you around 530 odd pixels per inch, making the Huawei Mate 9 Porsche edition much sharper, and it looks punchier from the offset side by side with deeper blacks as well. It's iOS versus Android, the age-old battle. iOS is going to be a very familiar experience to people who don't know about it or who've used iPhones before. It's got no applications. Straight to the left, you've got an overview of stuff going on in your life that you can customize. Pull down from the top, you've got all your notifications. Pull up from the bottom, and you've got some quick toggles. While to the left-hand side, you've got Emotion UI. You can see Huawei it isn't evident here, but they brought back the applications tray. They've also made the notification tray more stock. You can jump into the settings to switch on the applications tray. And you can also do something called App Twin. This means you can have two instances of WhatsApp and Facebook. Really cool stuff. There's also other improvements to Emotion UI. They've included SwiftKey as the default keyboard instead of swipe. You can also customize things to your fingerprints, so you can have extra privacy. Really cool once you get under the hood. Check out my top 5 features of Emotion UI 5 if you haven't seen it already to get more of a lowdown. But as for which is right for you, both have tons of apps. Google Play Store and Apple App Store are getting more and more neck and neck. It really will come down to personal preference in a big way. Right, what about the power under the hood on these things? You've got an Apple A10 Fusion chipset with 3 gig of RAM in the Apple iPhone 7 Plus versus a 6 gig of RAM laden Kirin 960 processor, which, according to Huawei, gets to know you through intelligent machine learning. It gets to know you and therefore optimizes performance based on what tasks it thinks you are going to perform. On top of that, paired with 6 gig of RAM and 256 gig of storage as standard, you are looking at one sweet deal. Plus, it's micro SD expandable, so you can get half a terabyte of stuff in this thing. Crazy amounts of storage. As for the iPhone, max capacity is 256 gigs. Plenty of room, but it is not expandable. When it comes to battery, that's another area the Huawei Mate 9 Porsche edition really wins out. 4,000 milliamps of juice under the hood, and that's versus around 2,900 in the iPhone 7 Plus. So spec-wise on paper, the Porsche design Mate 9 wins out, but it really is going to come down to real-world tests. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. If you like this video, click like the channel, subscribe. It's how you'll be staying on top of everything we do. Thanks for watching BTech.